Let's now take you back to Johannesburg, where the South African Council of Churches will be hosting an anti-corruption conference today, also attended by former leader and member of the judiciary. Our reporter Ziniko Mhlaba is there and joins us now live on what is expected to be discussed. We understand that the former Chief Justice, Raymond Zondo, is expected to deliver the keynote address. Good morning.
A very good morning to you, Aldrin. Yes, indeed, the former Chief Justice, Raymond Zondo, will be delivering the keynote address on day one here at Johannesburg. This is a conference called by leaders from various faith-based organizations under the umbrella of SACC, but also what they've done, they've also brought in the people who are responsible for fighting corruption within the state, but also broadly in South Africa. That is why we've got that voice of the judiciary in the name of the former Chief Justice, but also when it comes to the current corruption-fighting entities in South Africa, the Auditor General's office will be represented by the Auditor General herself, but also the Public Protector, Ms. Galego, will also be here. So I'm joined now to get more details, by Rev Waqas, who give us more context in terms of the importance of this, but also the importance of the voices, Rev, you have brought to be part and parcel of this conversation. Talk to us about what is it that this gathering seeks to achieve. We've had gatherings before, we've discussed corruption before on interviews, but also in conferences. What sets this gathering apart, but also give us more insights in terms of the voices that you brought in to be part and parcel of this conversation?
Wonderful. Thank you very much. This is a critical moment, not only for the life of the church, but for the nation as well. We must also remember that it is important for the church to always have its voice. When the church is quiet, we must never think that the church is not being influential. When the church is quiet, it could be, in fact, endorsing some of the things that it should be speaking against. And so today and tomorrow, we gather to extend our voice and to make it very clear that we cannot continue the way we are as a nation. We must know that if we are going to be a thriving nation, we have got to rid off the nation of corruption. We have got to stand firm and begin to say enough is enough. But we cannot do that alone as a church. We have got to do it with other voices. And so the voice of the church is not standing alone. The voice of the church is standing with the people of this nation. Hence, you see the former Chief Justice will be here as well to address us on this critical aspect of the judiciary in this nation. And you have seen what has been happening in the past few weeks, where judiciary has been accused of serious misconduct. And we hope that these allegations can be cleared so that once again we can have confidence in that arm of our government.
Historically, Rev, church has played a very key role in the liberation of South Africa, way back when we're still fighting for justice, but also now, post-1994, it seems as if the church has taken a backseat when it comes to confronting challenges that are facing South Africa. We've only been hearing the voice of the church through conferences. When it comes to the frontline battles, currently, it's political parties, it's whistleblowers, it's activists who are opening cases, who are taking practical action in terms of trying to express their dissatisfaction with corruption in the country. Is there any role the church can play beyond the conferences, beyond the talks? Can we see church leaders taking that practical action on the ground to really say enough is enough, or going to open cases, or going to engage politically with the political leaders to express our dissatisfaction? Can you play that role? Are you ready to play that role?
From time immemorial, we must remember that church has always played a critical role, not only in South Africa, all over the world. I cannot think of any, monarch. I cannot think of any government that has ever been in place without the influence of the church. And for the church then to take a step back and think that, it is okay for us to just talk on our own and pray on our own without translating these conversations into action, then part of that action is to call out the wrongs that, we see. Because the church's voice needs to be prophetic. And one of the ways of being prophetic is to come out of the temple and be out there. It is now time for the church not to just congregate in little corners. We have got to come together as the body of Christ and begin to say, this is how things should be. In fact, in this country, without the church, there wouldn't have been any liberation. Without the church, there wouldn't have been any peaceful talks that could have led to the peaceful democracy that we have had in the past. It's about time that we took our rightful place in society.
Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Aldred, that's Revwaka there, just giving us more insight in terms of the objectives of this gathering, but also saying that it is time for church to step out of temples, to be on the streets, to be vocal, as the church has always played that very important role in terms of ensuring that there is a democratic and peaceful society in South Africa, as we've seen in the past. So we'll see how these conversations today and tomorrow will conclude and what resolutions will be taken out of this conference.